Aloha, my beautiful ones. Here goes recap from Vlogtober day 7. I'm so excited to do this today. It's a short one with a nice highlight in the end. Today's prompt is actually doing a highlight of last week, but I feel like if you look at the two last vlogs that we had, those were my highlight of the week. And of course, vlog number 1, where I spoke about where I worked on Oktoberfest, because Oktoberfest is sort of my highlight, one of the highlights of the year. You're actually doing Vlogtober, you'll actually be part of my two big highlights, one being the Oktoberfest and the second one being Halloween and that special time and how I celebrate that time. So I'm very excited to show you that towards the end of the Vlogtober. But for now, let's do the recap. As I mentioned in yesterday's vlog, I had to go to the dentist because a little piece had fallen off one of my teeth. It wasn't hurting or anything, but you know how it feels when there's a little hole. For starters, you keep playing with it, and the second one is I don't want to get it too dirty or anything, so I prefer to have the doctors have a look at it. So I did that in the morning. That was important to do the dentist. I loved having found that bench in the wild, to put it that way. Like it was a little park across my dentist's office practice, and it was nice because I kept having like little animals come and visit. That's why you're seeing this one here. One of my favorite animals in the whole world is, having, spiders. Actually, just recently, like the past 5 or 6 years, we've become very good friends. And we sort of play with my nieces, saying that we actually have a pet spider at home, because there's a little spider that actually comes and searches for us if she's entangled in something. There's a spot at the house that if she's waiting there, it's like, okay, come and untangle me, please. Which I love, having that kind of experience with animals at home. But anyway, so that's why it was nice, sitting on that bench having a visitor like this. That was beautiful. So it was nice connecting with that animal. And then, of course, I had my dentist appointment. It was nice. It was okay. Everything was fine. I drove home after the dentist appointment. I took the cab. I got some food for once this, stopped being numb. And then, went home. When I was home, I, of course, first thing I did was getting cuddles from my nieces. And then after the cuddles, I met with a colleague that is doing this challenge with me, but more for that on Wednesday. And yeah, that was one thing. And then, after that, I needed to go and do some grocery shopping. So I did that. After the shopping, I did something that for me is very important to do after a weekend like Oktoberfest, and that was do my egg cleansing. If you don't know what it is and what I use and how I use it for, I'll put here the card so that you can go and see, because I have a YouTube short explaining everything about it. But now for in this specific case, I'll show you what my egg looked like after the cleansing. I think it didn't look as bad as, for example, in the summertime when I was dealing with a lot of people every day. This time it was, let's put it this way, it was 2 full days in the city with Oktoberfest. And for that, I feel that the egg doesn't look too bad. It does have a little spikes on the bottom and a couple of bubbles, but it's not too bad. So I feel good. I will still do an extra cleansing today as well. So I'm, repeating all of that. Yeah, to just, get it done with, of course, and get cleansed so that my energy is good for the next couple of days. I used the time in the evening to sort of like catch up on work stuff that hadn't been done through the weekend. And suddenly I received a message from a wonderful friend of mine who said, dude, you need to go outside right now. There's northern lights outside. You need to go and check out the northern lights. So being who I am, of course, I go outside with 2 cameras. I took my GoPro and I took my cell phone. With the cell phone, I was able to take a couple of pictures, but the GoPro caught a little bit more than my cell phone. It's similar to what we had, I think it was May this year, or was it earlier, where we had a lot of sunstorms happening and we were able to see a couple of northern lights down here, down south, because we're very south. Usually we just don't have them unless we have some weird solar storms happening, right? So this happened last night, and so that's how my day ended, actually, with having that. And I just realized now that I'm trying to edit everything, I realized how the GoPro caught it a little bit in the end. You're gonna see what you're gonna see is clouds moving, and you're gonna go, oh, May, but that's you seeing the clouds at night. There's probably a city or something that's sending the light to the clouds. No, that's all northern lights. I live out in the field. The only cities that are close to where I live are either east or west. And what you're seeing is I'm filming north. And north of us, there's no big city for a long while. So there's no big cities that close. So that is not a city. And that's not a neighbor doing party. That is how Northern Lights looked in the camera. And you can see by the end of it how it turns a little bit sort of reddish on the left side. Yes, because I'm watching it today, I'm like, oh man, I should have watched last night because I would have noticed, and then I would have put the camera out because I think afterwards there were still more coming. But I wasn't sure, so and it was late, and it had been a long weekend, so that was fine. So that was my ending of yesterday. So going for highlights, I think I've mentioned them. So I hope that this fits the prompt. I know it's a short one today. Tomorrow it's a short one for day 7. Day 8 is going to be probably as short as well because there's not much happening. It's still a lot of, recovering from the weekend and getting work done. But I'll keep you posted with everything. I hope you enjoyed today's vlog episode. And if you'd like to see more, come join me, follow my journey with Vlogtober. And yeah, I hope to see you soon. And as always, my beautiful soul, stay magical.